I see one there.
See?
Look for the small sound holes.
I'm too much of a peasant to play these guitars. I'm not rich enough.
You can do it.
I'm not just going to grab one without asking. I appreciate you asking. Go for it. Yeah.
You got the permission. Now let's find out what you'll do with it.
It's got one. Drop it. Now you see, the fact that I'm looking at this tag means I can't afford it.
Every now and then social media is a fun place. I made a reaction video to what was one of the most incredible guitar performances I've ever seen. And lo and behold, that man has ended up in my studio across from the UK over into my place in Nashville. Ben Travers specializes in all forms of guitar, particularly in this video, gypsy jazz, but he can play anything. He's a BMI winner, an Academy Award shortlisted composer, a Billboard Hot 100 Top 10 songwriter. He's worked with artists such as Sade, Hans Zimmer, Steve McQueen, Lil Baby. He can do any genre, any style, and he does it with a menacing smile. Oh. Ben's career in music took a pause for some time, but he is back now in 2025, reigniting the guitar flame. And I, for one, welcome him as an ambassador of this guitar community, and I invite you to do so too. Rick Graham and Ben are starting their own podcast. They're both releasing music and kind of holding each other accountable. So let's hold Ben accountable to put out awesome stuff and keep doing it. This piece of content can be the first in that line. So here, without further ado, the incredible and awesome Ben Travers. Hello.
Yeah, hey!
It's Ben Travers here.
No, you can't start like that. Oh my God.
That's the attitude you gotta have to play like this, I think.
Yes.
It really exudes in your playing, and I'm not saying that, you know, with any sort of sense of humor whatsoever. There's an attitude of aggression that I saw on Instagram, reacted to your clip in one of my videos. Oh my God. And now you're over here, I've abducted you.
Thank you. I don't even know where.
He lives in my closet now. I take him out for videos every now and then. Ben Travers. No, I'm just kidding.
Thank you very much.
Honestly, it's a pleasure to meet you, man.
Oh, no, it is my honor, and thank you so much for giving me just a snippet of your time is amazing. As for you saying their attitude is kind of what it's all about, but you've got to remember, because I come from the rock days, you know, the good old-fashioned, like I said, like the kind of Zakk Wylde approach of punch you in the face, rip your head off kind of thing. And it's aggressive, but it's controlled aggression is what it's about.
So you have a background in rock and roll, as you've mentioned, but also an entirely different genre.
Yep.
Which requires that essence and aggression.
Yep.
And yet is conveyed in a completely different musical way. So talk about this gypsy jazz that I would call you a master of. You probably won't give yourself that credit, but you're really got it under your fingers, man.
What I can say is I studied it intensely, and I studied it correctly from a technique point of view. The problem I had, and I apologize everyone, for true gypsy jazz fans, if you watch any of my playing, or if you listen to my my album, thank you very much, thank you for the plug.
Oh yes, listen to Ben Travers' new album, out now.
New album out now on Spotify, Apple Music, all that type of stuff. It's not gypsy jazz based as in traditionals where you're just playing jazz standards and stuff. So without warbling on for ages, the style is traditional jazz standards. Guys would get together and you'd play a melody. Andy Wood talks about this a lot with the bluegrass kind of thing.
Yes.
The thing that separates the jazz community and the gypsy jazz guys from, say, the rock players or the blues players is right now, if you and I got together, and we've got so much in common when it comes to, we love the same players, we love this, we love that.
The first thing you did was admire the Satriani guitar hanging up.
I know, and I've said before, like in the with what Rick and I are going to be doing, I'm the hugest
Rick Graham.
fan. Rick Graham.
You keep mentioning your partner in crime
My
here
partner.
with your return to the guitar internet.
Brother in arms, Mr. Rick Graham.
Yes.
And yet we're both such Satriani fans to the point that we literally would, in a loving way, kidnap him and keep him in the basement. We love him that much.
I'm fine putting that out there, Joe. It's fine. You're safe.
It's inevitable, Joe. Sorry, but we'll look after you. We'll feed you and stuff. It'll be fine. But we love him more than anything, and it's kind of what kind of got me started, I guess, listening to my dad's stuff of like Pink Floyd and like Jeff Beck and rock and roll stuff.
Yeah.
But then got into the electric stuff, found Satriani and I guess John Petrucci, all those kind of things. But then I had a shift where it was a band called Harem Scarem, and Pete Lesperance is again, he's up there with Joe Satriani for me, and Nuno Betancourt, and you know, Andy Timmons. He's a phenomenal guitarist, like one of the best ever, in my opinion. But as a songwriter, Harem Scarem, they're Canadian. They sold millions of albums. They never really got pushed in the US because they came into power when grunge hit. So,
oh no!
So, you know, just a casualty of war, I'm afraid. They did an album called Mood Swings and an album called Voice of Reason. And the strange thing is they had some of these real dark waltz type sound songs. One called Blue off the album Voice of Reason. And I was learning it and loving it. And then this buddy of mine was like, would you want to play some gypsy jazz, just do some rhythm? Never heard of it before. And he gave me like a cassette, like playlist of this stuff. On there was one of the songs that I'd played. Rick Graham had put on his channel of me playing the Django's Waltz. Real shreddy, dark stuff with these waltz kind of ideas. And I was like, that sounds like Harem Scarem. I already love it. I'm going to play the... And it all began from there. And then I was just playing rhythm for a couple of years. And then my buddy Stuart, who was the lead guy at the time, he took me out to... we went to play at a festival, whereas I was just doing rhythm. And I saw guys like Jimmy Rosenberg, Stockeler Rosenberg, Borelli Legren, and who else was there? I think Josko Stefan was there, maybe, because he was savage as well. And I was like, oh my God, the technique involved here is beyond belief. It's like the most crazy shredding,
right?
But tasteful through changes. Oh, it blew my mind.
Can you talk about how this shredding sonically is conveyed? Because we were talking about different picks.
Yeah.
And what happens there.
Yeah.
And it also reveals the technique side of things.
It does completely. So right here, so as I gave you before, this is the gypsy jazz pick I use. Jim Dunlop, big fat gypsy jazz pick.
So there's like a little thumb pocket there?
Yeah, there you go. So
nice.
we whack it like that. Compared to the Jazz 3, which is similar size, but you see how thin that is. And you get a very spiky sort of sound with the Jazz 3. Now, the difference there is I get all this natural sustain, which when it comes to electric, that would be a bad thing.
Yes.
You do that on electric, it's going to be horrific. You won't hear anything. A friend of mine, Andreas Oberg, phenomenal jazz player, plays the big Gretchen, flat wound strings. He's phenomenal. But he had to go on my electric, and I put the tube screamer on and all that type of stuff. And he's literally, all you can hear is all the strings. And he's going, this guitar is horrible. And I'm like, no, it's because if you were to play just a couple of notes, it's very dry and horrible sounding, whereas with this pick, because of the way we hold our hand, your hand is off the guitar like this, arm up on there maybe, that's the only contact you really have, possibly fingers touching a little bit here. Even then when I let go, and that's what happens, is you get, if you were to just play an E on the G there, but then if I let go, that note resonates as a harmonic through the other strings. Because of the fact that I'm picking into the string with the big fat sound, it's not a sharp edge, it's a round edge.
So the bevel causes your hand to slightly arc.
It arcs, you go down, I land on the next string, which is what's called the rest stroke.
Yes.
And then it also, because my position is away from the guitar, that's why I get all the nice resonance in there, which can be a problem live amplified and stuff. The reason for it is back when these guys were doing this properly in the 30s, 40s and 50s, so Django Reinhardt playing, they only had acoustic, they had no amplification, so they had to project, which is why the gypsy jazz guitars have a small sound hole.
Right.
So it fires the note right into your eyeball.
Little note missiles.
Have that.
So this is the missile you're talking about. This missile's coming straight out of this
right there
projectile.
The problem is you get these very aggressive guys will literally play like this. Very aggressive in your face sound, whereas guys like Stockolo will actually have the technique and the prowess to be very gentle. But when they want to, just like that.
Controlling the string noise with an acoustic instrument is something that's actually new to me, but it totally is apparent in the room here.
Completely. It's better if you have a nice reverb sound. Everything that is developed, they didn't mean to do. They don't do it because that's the way.
Yeah.
It happened naturally, and that's why the gypsy jazz thing, the one thing I can talk to about it is it's a culture thing. It's not just the guitar. It's not just the pick. It's the fact that it's how they all used to, the families. I can tell you now, there's 12-year-old Sinti gypsy lads sat in their camp now playing guitar, shredding all over the place, better than I can. But they're not guitarists. It's just like there's gypsy bare-knuckle boxers, like kids who would beat the hell out of me. Even though I've boxed most of my life, I'm like, it's what they do. I do it as a sport.
Yeah.
They do it as part of their culture. As a rhythm player, you're emulating an entire orchestra, a horn section and stuff, right. And that's where those stabs come from for they're playing a rhythm and they go pap, and they'll do a little all that. And that's where the rhythm sound comes from, is you're emulating that sound with the snare. So it's not like, oh God, I can't even do that. You get this. You're getting this with a big reverb.
You just automatically, a scene starts to form in your mind's eye when you hear that music.
Yeah, you do. And the thing is, what makes me a little bit controversial and not so popular is, you'll notice, I've said this before, I only really play the dark, foreboding, gypsy jazz type stuff. So like the dark eyes thing. And then I only do minor stuff because it's cool and dark and sounds like you're interested and have got problems. I don't do the, it had to be, it had to be.
That doesn't even feel like the same world.
It is, but it's just a personal preference. I don't like it. I love the Django Reinhardt stuff where he was playing those minor, shreddy, minor swing, the darker stuff, the fast and up-tempo, aggressive stuff. I don't like the happy boppy jazz, which unfortunately just makes me not very, it seems disrespectful, but it's not.
No,
I
don't think it is.
I think it's because of the rock thing, and I think it's because of musicians, in it. We like to feel that we're dark and interesting, and I think if you're playing, that's the other thing, man. Like, it's so bad. The guys, when they're playing, they're jamming together, and they're all smiling.
Oh, nice lick there, buddy.
Oh, yeah. And then look at each other and they nod like that. I'm going to be hated for this. I apologise.
Go on.
But we don't do that as rockers. You're like that, and you're playing here, and you're talking about everything that's wrong with the world, not...
Your angry, disgruntled face is actually way more cathartic for me than a smile.
Absolutely. And again, with the technique, so I learned it correctly, traditionally, because without that, you don't get the same sound, you don't get the same vibe. Right. If you were to, again, and the other thing is, you don't necessarily play that much scalar. You play a lot more chordal based, arpeggio based, and you follow the chord changes.
One of the tracks on your new album, which is all gypsy jazz instrumentation, I would say.
Ish, yeah.
Ish.
It is.
I never want to put it in an entire box, but just for the intents of
I
this.
don't know what I'd call it either.
There's no drums necessarily, right?
No, but here's the perfect example. Tyler, thank you so much. You've rock and roll exactly. You won't believe this, right? But the track that's Hypertension, that is the one I wanted to tell you about, and it's the one with Paul Gilbert on it, the great, legendary Paul Gilbert, who plays a solo on there and rips everyone's face off. He's brilliant. On acoustic. I'll just do it normal speed. That's the intro. And it's these endless 16ths.
Yep.
But the way I play it here, that is the correct gypsy jazz way, where you've got this.
That's the rest stroke you were talking about?
That's the rest stroke. You'd think Yngwie, you'd think, what do you call it? Economy?
Economy picking, yeah.
Economy style play. I know what that is. I do it, yeah.
You seen this? You heard about this?
I am aware of it. That kind of thing, the Yngwie thing, and flying up these arpeggios. That was done by Django in the 30s, and that's the scary thing, like one of the parts of the solo. That you got that sweep, and that right there was Django did that in the 50s and 40s and stuff like that, flying up these arpeggios and coming down a scale. And he did it with 2 fingers as well, man, with all that crap. And he used his little stump finger to get that bit. Yeah. I will switch between both methods of picking sometimes, and I don't realise when I do it.
We need to do our best Troy Grady impression here.
Oh, well, he'll know all about it. He's the master, isn't he? We love you, Troy Grady.
We're going to crack the code, so just play normally and we'll see what your hand does.
You see, like, right there. That would be the rest stroke thing, but sometimes I'm doing alternate there, aren't I? But it's different tone, isn't it? Oh, God. Right, we'll leave it there. Considering it's a jazz record, kind of gypsy jazz, but that is actually... Do you know this song? It's Opeth. But it's got this bit in the middle that goes like this. And I stole that little bit, and I kind of went. And the whole thing came from that little riff, and then I did that bit.
Well, I don't think they can sue you in a court of law.
No, it's only a little bit of it, but it was inspired by an Opeth song. There's another album, man. This is so bizarre. Brave New World, that's the name of the band.
Oh, that was pretty awesome right there, dude.
The album's called Monsters, and the guitarist, Pat Heath,
yeah,
kind of a buddy of mine. But not known, that album is not known, and those riffs, it was a huge influence there. So yeah, the rock sort of stuff, like I ripped it, I learned all of it, as best as I could. But every single little step there, the fact that he was playing slightly different, slightly out, stuff like even that riff there. And he does that is. -6, which is where that sound. That's where that sound, the Django sound, comes from, because his fingers were all mashed up like that. Yeah. He came up with the kind of -6 vibe.
Because of the half step that happens, ergonomic reason that the minor sixth.
It's because of the fact is he would not have been able to do a minor bar chord at all, so he would have got a minor kind of shape there.
It totally influenced the whole harmony of
the whole harmony of it all comes from there, and then it's the same with a major sort of sixth. That's where he got that sound, but that right there, you play it there, it's a C sort of major six, add something or other. But if you just move it there and put your finger up one, it's a minor. It's a minor six right there, and that's where you've got that sound. Very, very different sound, isn't it? Django, again, no one even now, like, no, it's like a give. It's like that whole, you talk about your guitar heroes, but you're like, because people say that, like, you know, because I've got a channel, a very small channel. I've 10,000 though.
We're growing it. We're growing it.
I'm catching you up, man.
Yeah. Okay. Come on up.
But thank you very much for even entertaining me, because I am new to the whole social media and channel and.
It's new for me every day.
Lights and cameras and all that type of stuff. So you don't realise, you see how confident I am in front of the camera. You don't realise about 5 minutes before we started, I was sat over in that corner sweating, holding my head going, I can't do this. Now, the plan is, as you know, I've got, my album is out now.
Yes.
You can listen to it for free, you know, I don't mind. I'd rather people hear it than not hear it. But the main sort of reason is my brother-in-law, Rick Graham. We've got a podcast project. Just like your good self. Just not a little bit different.
Plenty of room in the pool, baby.
Exactly, we're taking over. It's just Rick and I for now, literally talking about, because he used to get asked a lot, you know, how do you get to that level?
Yeah.
How do you reach that level of like virtuosity? And he's like, oh yeah, well, practice.
I thought you were going to say practice and then practice.
Oh, practice. Okay, no, let's do that. Let's say it is practice, 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 and accept the fact that your life is going to be a complete and utter train wreck, dumpster fire.
All right.
Okay.
Good place to start. If you start at the bottom, any success is going to be a triumph.
Oh yeah, you know, we say, you know,
it's a good mindset.
You know, is it Robert Johnson? He sold his soul. It's like, oh no, we've done it all: soul, liver, kidneys, organs, you know, brain, you know, everything sold, slave, you know, and destroyed.
But dude, that rest stroke is solid.
And then my other thing, if you don't mind me plugging, my online method. It's what I'm going to concentrate on the most, like we were talking about before. I want to be, more than anything, probably an educator, and also have the luxury of being able to play guitar every day. It's going to start out just technical at the beginning, where I'm teaching, because everyone just wants to know about alternate picking, really. Yep. Let's be honest, because it's what's coolest, isn't it?
It's pretty badass.
It's what everyone wants to do, isn't it? It's what it's all about.
I hear it the loudest.
Yeah.
In the room, that's what
it's all about.
That's what the string noise, the room noise that translates through your videos. I heard your pick. I think that was my first reaction. I was like, I can hear that dude's pick in my eardrum.
It's a great thing, because I did look at, I was so grateful that you did that. Thank you so much. But someone actually said his scratch plate tells it all. I think you said that, actually. And you said, oh, look at that scratch plate.
I was like, that didn't come like that.
No. But you know, that's not the pick doing that. That is my hand. I do a lot of, you'll see I use my hand and fingers a lot, and it's just clearly a bit of a flimsy scratch plate. And then who knows where we go from here. Maybe not that far. We'll see.
A glorious battle plan, and look forward to following along when you guys make your way over to the States for your debut clinic tour or regular tour. You must stop by.
Yeah, well, no, we're moving in.
Oh, shit.
Well,
no,
dude, you've got to be out, man.
I have a few bedrooms if you want to go explore.
No, you know, we're taking them all over there. You don't even realise you're out of here, man. I'm kidding. You see,
you've been scoping out this spot since you came in.
If I do it a bit cooler, though, so I can get away with it, if you play the 12-string part.
How are you doing that?
You have to do the octave.